All right, welcome to our 2022 NFL mock draft. We are one day away from the most unpredictable NFL draft that I can remember. Now, I was watching a thing with Peter King the other day talking about why this draft is so unpredictable. Some of the things he mentioned were that a lot of new front office staffs are in place that are different than in the past, a lot of shifting of general managers, things like that, new coaching staffs. On top of that, positions where you typically have premium players aren't there. For instance, quarterback. This might be a draft where there is no quarterback taken in the top 10. And that is obviously the most important position on the field. And this year, there are talks that maybe there isn't that elite level quarterback or that surefire home run at quarterback. There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback, but again, they're a little more hesitant this year. Also, you have things like certain teams at the top who like to keep their cards close to the vest. Teams like the Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes does not usually let things leak from about what he's trying to do and things like that. So there's a lot of unpredictable things. On top of that, there's teams that have multiple picks in the top 20. So again, there's quite a few of those. The Jets, the Giants, and so on. The Eagles. So, there's a lot of things that could happen. A lot of trades could happen. But there's not a lot of teams trying to trade up. So, again, it's going to be very unpredictable. Now, I am not an expert on a lot of NFL teams. I love football. I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan. I'm going to try and be unbiased with what I want to happen. I'm going to try and throw that out. And I'm going to try and pick based on what I feel these teams are going to do. And that's based on all the mock drafts I've read, all the different videos I've seen from the experts. I've even watched some YouTubers who are clearly not experts throw out what they think is going to happen and why. And so, yeah, you're going to get my thoughts as this goes on. And I'm going to try and make educated picks. So hope you guys will like it. At any point, if you disagree with something, comment below. If you think a guy's going to be a bust, if you think a guy's going to be a surefire Hall of Famer, whatever it is, let me know. I would love to hear about it. The first team on the clock is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, originally, everyone was saying they're going to take Aiden Hutchinson. I really thought that was who they were looking at. I could have swore it was a surefire thing, but the last couple of days, it's been Travon Walker. Now, as a Detroit Lions fan and a Michigan fan, I was excited as hell about this because I want Aiden Hutchinson at number 2. I still think that the Jaguars should go for a tackle, personally, but they're not going to do that. They are going to go with Travon Walker. I also was kind of surprised, to be honest, because, again, even though they are bringing back their tackle, I still think they need to shore up that offensive line for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 pick last year. You have another number 1 pick this year. But yeah, they're going to go with Travon Walker. So that then brings the Detroit Lions up on the board. Now, again, I want Aiden Hutchinson. However, everything I am hearing tonight, as of 9:30 p.m. Wednesday night, is that actually Travon Walker was number 1 on the Detroit Lions board with Kayvon Thibodeaux at number 2. Now, again, I really want Hutchinson. I think Hutchinson is a guy who could develop into a J.J. Watt type player, but people think Thibodeaux is the guy here. Now, Thibodeaux for a long time has been considered the number 1 prospect in this year's draft. Even before the season the previous year, people have been saying Thibodeaux would be the number 1 guy this year. There's a lot of BS rumors out there about his work ethic and crap like that. There's people saying Dan Campbell doesn't like him. Again, I'm not buying all that. I do think that the Lions love Thibodeaux. Brad Holmes loves Oregon players. They sent a bunch of people out there. They've talked to Thibodeaux a bunch. Thibodeaux even came out and said that he had a great relationship with Holmes and Campbell, and that Campbell's been, texting him and things like that. So, again, Thibodeaux is the guy for the Detroit Lions. Here at number 3, the guy I'm hearing that it is going to be is a corner, and I'm hearing that it's going to be Stingley Jr. Now, I don't think you take a corner this high ever unless you pretty much have all your needs covered, and the only reason you're drafting here is because maybe you had some really big injuries the year before. But yeah, I think that they're going to take a corner. You can see here the team needs for Houston. It says corner number one, then edge. There's Aiden Hutchinson falling in their lap, and I don't think they're going to take him. I do think they are going to go with a corner. Now, it makes sense to go with Ahmad Gardner. Gardner hasn't had a touchdown scored on him since like high school. He doesn't even remember if he was scored on in high school, really. But it's been a long time since anybody scored on Gardner. Sauce is the man. And so I think if you're going to go corner, you should take Gardner. But this is the Houston Texans. So yes, Stingley Jr. is the guy. When the Jets are on the clock, they need to protect their quarterback they drafted last year. They're going to go offensive tackle. It's going to be Ekwonu. No doubt about it. This guy should have been the first one off the board. Jets are going to take him. Now, the Giants need a tackle and an edge. Also, this is a reoccurring theme among a lot of teams up top. Now, I do not think you can let Aiden Hutchinson slip past you at number 5. That's just crazy talk. And so I do have them taking Aiden Hutchinson right here. Next up is the Panthers. I'm hearing a lot of people say, oh, they're going to take a quarterback and things like that. I don't think they're going to do that. I actually think they are going to take Evan Neal. So the Giants obviously took Aiden Hutchinson before. They now want to get an offensive lineman. I'm hearing Charles Cross is really high on their board. Everything I've seen says Charles Cross is one of the best pass blocking tackles. They still have some questions at quarterback, but I think they're going to stick with it, and I think Charles Cross is going to be their guy. So now they shore up the tackle and the edge spot, and that is what the Giants have needed for a bit. Number 8. So I see a lot of people having Atlanta go and take a wide receiver. They have their one wide receiver having issues with betting and things like that. So there's a good chance that a wide receiver goes here. Now, I am not necessarily sold on this. I could see them doing a lot of things. They need a quarterback. With Willis on the table, do they take him? It's possible. So I'm in between what I think they're going to do. They need a quarterback really bad, I think. Let's go with... This is a tough one. Let's go Garrett Wilson. First wide receiver taken. Seahawks need an offensive lineman, need a quarterback, need an edge. I'm going to give them taking an edge because, again, I think the Seahawks do things that you don't always expect. The thing that's glaring is the quarterback need. But it is the Seahawks. Are they going to take a rookie quarterback right now? There are some guys that'll be there in the second round, like Howell, Corral. I do think those guys will be there. I personally don't think there's a quarterback worth taking in the top 10 this year. That's just my personal opinion. I think, you got the Pitt guy with Pickett. I think he could be very good. I also think Malik Willis could be very good, but there are so many questions about them that I don't think a team is going to take them in the top 10 this year, and it's going to be the talk of the draft. So I am going to have them take Jermaine Johnson here. All right, Jets back up. Jermaine Johnson just went off the board, which sucks for them. They're going to be a little upset about that. So I think the Jets are going to take Sauce. Washington needs a receiver. They need a corner. They need a lot of things. I don't think Washington's a very good team. The fact that the ownership is in shambles at the moment, who knows what's going to happen there. But I think with Jameson Williams here and Drake London, I think there's 2 wide receivers they're really going to like. Do they go for the speedier guy? Or do they go for the up for the grabs, jump ball guy? I think they're going to go Jameson Williams here. And why do I think that? It's a Carson Wentz team. I know that if you look at it, you go Carson Wentz needs a jump ball guy. He's done well with that in the past. But I feel like Jameson Williams is such a good playmaker when healthy that I think you really can't pass up on Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams could have been the number 1 wide receiver coming out if it wasn't for his injury. So let's go Jameson Williams here. All right, Houston Texans are going to be looking to the future. They could go Kyle Hamilton here, but they also know next year they're going to need a quarterback, and they're probably going to draft one next year. So I think they're going to go for a wide receiver here. At least that's what I would consider. They could also go Jordan Davis. Now, the thing about this is that sweet spot where Jordan Davis is in the next couple picks. He's either going to be 13 or 14, in my opinion. But with the run on receivers, I think, that could force the Texans to do something very Houston-esque, Earlier in this, I had them. Who did I have Houston taking earlier? They took a corner. So let's stick defense here. Let's actually go Jordan Davis here. Go interior defensive line. It is a need of theirs. And I think having that grinder, that guy who takes up blocks, that's good. So let's go Jordan Davis here. It's going to screw over the Ravens and what I think the Ravens really want to do. But yeah, let's do that. Oh, I messed up. All right, I made a mistake. I had the Vikings taking Jordan Davis. That was a mistake. I don't think the Vikings are taking Jordan Davis. My bad. So, to balance this out, the Vikings are going to take a corner. I actually think they're going to take McDuffie. I messed up. I had Jordan Davis. I meant Jordan Davis to the Texans. So, flip those. All right, now we're at the Ravens. They need a corner. They need offensive line. They need defensive line. They need an edge. They need a lot of different things there. Based on the way things are shaking out here, though, they could go with Devontae Wyatt, which he has some questionable issues, but I could see the Ravens taking him, thinking they could work with him. Zion Johnson from Boston College. I don't think you take an interior offensive line right here. I just don't think you can do that. They could go edge. I don't see any edge that I'm excited about this high. Karlaftis I like, just not this high. So we are going to go with the interior defensive lineman here. Corner makes a lot of sense too, but I don't think there's a corner worth taking this high. It could be Elam from Florida. Again, I don't think that's a good spot for him. I just don't. I think it's too high. So let's go with Devontae Wyatt. Shore up that defensive line. The Eagles now need some things. They need a corner. They need an edge, wide receiver, so on and so forth. They've got some picks coming up too. They've got 15. They got 18. So they could do a lot of things here. So let's have them take. They would probably go best available, I would think. Probably take themselves. They could take Drake London. I could see him being an Eagle. I could see them going with Kyle Hamilton. I could see that. Olave would be interesting. Let's get them taking no, not Elam. They have Darius Slay still, I think. So let's go. I think we're going to go wide receiver. I think they're going to take Olave. I just think that he arguably could be one of the top receivers in the draft. So, Now, that brings us to some interesting picks for the Saints. They have 16 and 19. They need a quarterback, a wide receiver, a tackle. I think around this point, you can go quarterback. Now, with quarterback, I think it's between Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. Desmond Ridder, some people really like him. I don't think he's in the first round. I don't think he'll be a first-round quarterback. I still don't think Malik Willis really should be a first-round quarterback. And same thing with Kenny Pickett. I think in other years, these guys would be second-round picks. So with that, though, you also have receivers that are still out there. You've got London, who's still out there. There's Penning, a tackle. So what do you think the Chargers are going to do? What do you think the Eagles are going to do? Is going to impact what you do. You probably, I don't know. I think you go Penning here because, you got the Chargers coming up. Someone could trade up in this spot to get a quarterback, like number 17 or 18, if the Saints don't take a quarterback, if they really love a guy. So let's have them take Let's have him take Penning. And then that makes the Chargers have a really tough spot. They need a linebacker. They need defensive line, offensive tackle. Let's get them going with a linebacker. They are going to take Devin Lloyd, who I think is a stud. Would love if he could fall to the Lions. It's not happening. Devin Lloyd goes off the board, brings you to the Eagles. They need an edge. I think taking Karlaftis here now would be pretty good. You still need a corner. You still need interior offensive line. But I think Karlaftis is really good. He could go here. So let's give them Karlaftis. All right, and then the Saints here. So this is where things get interesting. I think with the Saints being in salary cap hell, you got Winston, who's doing these re-signing deals and is needing a lot of money, and I'm not sold on Winston. You also have a brand new coaching staff with Peyton gone. So I think right here is where you go Malik Willis to the Saints. Makes sense to me. Which now the Steelers, who wanted probably Willis, I don't think they can pass up on Kenny Pickett here. They need a quarterback really bad. They've got some pieces on defense. You got TJ Watt. I think they just re-signed Devin Bush. They've got some guys on defense. They could go Kyle Hamilton, really shore up the defensive side, and hope next year for a quarterback. But you don't want to, give up valuable years with some of the guys you got. So you go quarterback, Kenny Pickett. You get this thing going again. Try to stay as one of the top teams. All right, Patriots up. Patriots need a lot of different things. Patriots always do interesting things in the draft, I feel. They love to draft their offensive linemen. They're always shuffling out old offensive linemen for young guys. So I'm going to actually have them taking Zion Johnson here. Then you get the Packers. They would have loved to have Karlaftis, I'm sure. He would have been a good edge guy. But they need a wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers. Now, does Drake London fit that mold? I don't think he does. I think, they're looking for a guy who creates a little more separation. Is Treylon Burks that guy? I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about him. 6'2". Let's look here. Boom. He's a spot route runner, and the Arkansas offense doesn't show the ability to make precise cuts. So maybe he's not it. I don't know. I'm going to make him the guy, though. So Packers are going to do it right here. Boom. Cardinals, corner, edge, wide receiver, their top needs. Do they go with the Drake London? The Cardinals still have Kyler Murray. They still have a lot of things. They have an aging defense. They have some good guys on defense, though. Again, you got to put weapons around your quarterback. So let's give them Drake London. The Cowboys with Micah Parsons, if this all falls into place and you have Kyle Hamilton on the board for the Cowboys at 24, I would be shocked if he falls this far. I'll be honest. I think he should go much higher. But if he's there, the Cowboys are running this up there, and back-to-back years, they might have Defensive Rookie of the Years. So Kyle Hamilton is for the Cowboys there. Buffalo has some really good safeties. I could have seen them going safety. I could see them going with a guy like Daxton Hill. Daxton Hill can cover the nickel. He can cover receivers a little bit. But with corner being such a big need for them, we're going to have them taking Elam here. That then brings us to the Titans. Titans need wide receiver, linebacker, tackle, tight end. They need quite a bit here. They still have those weapons with the run game. Tannehill, I'm not a huge Tannehill guy. But, with all the needs on offense, I'm going to have them take Dotson from Penn State. I've seen people have him going to Green Bay. I've seen people having him go to Kansas City. I've had people have him going to the Lions later. So let's go with him right here. Buccaneers interior offensive line is their big need. Linderbaum is going to be a stud center, I think, in the NFL. When it says interior offensive line, I don't know if the Buccaneers need a center, but I could see a guy like that go in there. I don't know much about Kenyon Green, to be honest. So I can't really comment there. They need a safety. Daxton Hill from Michigan, Tom Brady, Michigan guy. Maybe there's a connection there. Who knows? That to me would make a lot of sense. So I could see something like that. I don't think Tom Brady's actually the GM there, though, so that's not going to happen. Let's give them Linderbaum, and that is a 10-year starter for them. All right, back to Green Bay. They need an edge, they need a tackle, and they need interior defensive line. We could have them going with Mafe out of Minnesota. Could have them... I don't think they're going to go with an interior offensive lineman. Nakobe Dean is an interesting one, but in the cold, I don't know. Interior defensive line. Winfrey, does he make sense? I don't know. Ojabo, I actually think is going to fall. I think he's got the talent to go here, but with that injury, I don't think he's going to go here. Let's give them Walker over Nakobe Dean. I know that's crazy. Nakobe Dean was like the guy there, but let's give him Quay Walker over Nakobe Dean. Brings us to the Chiefs. Chiefs need quite a bit. I could see them going with Daxton Hill here. And then the Chiefs again, I think they believe Patrick Mahomes can get it done. I think they believe that with Hardman, they've got a good receiver. They probably think they can fill in the wide receiver spot with maybe a free agent later. There's always a couple guys that kind of pop up, especially as cap casualties and things like that. And as that happens, which you saw with like the Rams last year, taking in Odell Beckham Jr. Now that was later in the year, but because he had that guaranteed money, the Rams didn't have to pay him as much for the rest of the season. So I could see them going with something else here. Maybe they take Booth. In fact, I'm thinking that's where I'm going to have them go. I'm having them take Andrew Booth. Brings us to the Bengals. The Bengals need offensive linemen. They need quite a bit, in my opinion. You got to keep your guy standing. You got to keep him safe. Right here it's saying corner and safety is their number one need. Do they take Lewis Cine? Maybe. Let's see. Who else? Kyler Gordon from Washington? I don't know. Brisker from Penn State? Maybe. There's some guys here. I just don't know. Tyler Smith, interior offensive line. Let's have them take Kenyon Green because, again, I think they need an offensive lineman. And that brings us to the Detroit Lions at the end of the round. Now, if this was my pick, I go with either Cine or Dean. Cine or Dean. That's my choice. I don't know if the Lions have the defensive tackles for Nakobe Dean. To be honest, I think you need some big bodies up there. Nakobe Dean is a fast sideline-to-sideline linebacker who did not run a 40 time for his draft workouts. So is he as fast as he looked on tape? I don't know. I hope he is because, again, that's who I want. But I think that they're going to play it safe. I don't think they're going to go with Nakobe Dean. I think they're going to go with Lewis Cine. And I would be thrilled with this. Lewis Cine would make me pretty happy. Earlier, have him taking Thibodeau, not my favorite, but I think Thibodeau could still be a great edge rusher. Could be exactly what we need here in Detroit. And Lewis Cine, maybe he complements him well. So as long as they don't take a quarterback, if they took like Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell here, I don't know what I would do. So, yeah, Lewis Cine is who I'm going to have them take to wrap up the first round. So there you have it. That is what I think will happen in the draft. No trades, obviously. I think there will be trades. I think things are definitely going to get shuffled up, especially if Hutchinson falls a few picks. Things are going to get crazy. You're going to see teams try to trade up for him because I think Hutchinson is such a foundational guy for a team needing to rebuild. I think he's a guy who's got tremendous off-field leadership, and if he starts to fall, I think you're going to see some things there. I think if Carolina does not take a quarterback, again, things are going to get really interesting. If Atlanta takes a wide receiver, again, that's going to be interesting. There's a lot of things going into this that I think are going to be pretty wild, and we're going to see just what happens in the NFL draft this year. It's the most unpredictable year yet, so that I can remember since at least 2013. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are. And let me know what you think. If you want to come back, this is after the draft, and you want to tell me how wrong I was, please do. Bombard me with it. Tell me I suck at mock drafts. That's okay. I want to hear what you guys think. And, let's talk NFL draft. I love football. I love the NFL draft. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So let's have some fun with it, guys. And enjoy the draft.